Hello everyone, this is Turquoise, and today I'm going to be playing Turquoise, which is a DDLC mod that I made, or I should say it's the demo for a mod which I am making. It's a work in progress. This is the first in-game day of what is going to be a Sayonika themed mod, in case it wasn't clear from the artwork. I commissioned Minzway to make this. They do good work. Yeah. So we'll be featuring a romantic relationship between Sayori and Monika. Without further ado, let's get started. The first thing you'll notice is you get to choose the gender of the main character. I put main character in quotes because this is actually told from Sayori's point of view. But just to be different, I'm going to pick female MC or femc. What is her name? I'm going to call her Tormuse, just because that's how I roll. Anyway, let's get started. I slapped the snooze. Oh yeah, fair warning, this is going to have some depression talk and suicidal ideation and stuff, because it's Sayori. That's just how it is. Anyway, here we go. I slapped the snooze button on my alarm clock again. I just want a few more minutes of sleep. That's all. Just a few minutes. No one will mind, right? How many times have I hit it this morning? I lost count. I opened one eye to peek at and groan when I realized that I've been doing this for over an hour already. At this rate, I'll be late for school again. I don't want to be late. I really don't. I should get up now. I really should. I know I should. I'm still lying here. Last night, I set my alarm for an hour earlier than normal, but it still isn't helping. I'm going to feel bad if I'm late again. It's not like I can get there in time anyway. What's the point of trying? Maybe I could just stay home today, after all. It's not like anyone would notice or care anyway. Too worthless for anyone to care about. The alarm goes off again, and I slap the snooze button again. Okay, time to get serious. I really should get out of bed now. I throw the covers off myself and stretch myself out in bed. Right. Time to get up. I still haven't gotten up. I'm still lying here. This bed is so warm and cozy. Maybe I'll just pull the covers over myself a little longer. This is the daily struggle here. I'm going to throw developer commentary in here. This is sort of written to reflect that sort of struggle with depression. Even things like getting out of bed are difficult, like finding the motivation to do that. And this is something I've experienced a lot, that feeling of just lying there and going like, I know I should get up, I know I should get up, I know I should get up, but then not getting up. And then it's like, how many hours have passed now? Which sounds pretty bad, but there's a lot I could say about that. I should probably save the deeper depression commentary for later, but this is obviously something that the series experiences in the main game, like right from the very beginning of the original game. Like, MC says that Sayori would just keep sleeping in later and later, and he got tired of waiting for her. MC being MC just fails to recognize the significance of that. Well, I mean, to be fair, most people, I don't know. I think a lot of the public consciousness doesn't really recognize the signs of depression and the significance of events like that. Anyway, let's move on. Would anyone miss me if I didn't show up at school? Would anyone miss me if I roll over so I can reach under my bed? Where is that thing? I shift over so I can reach further and feel my fingertips brush against it. Ugh, why is it so far under there? I stick my head over the edge of the bed and strain to grab a hold one end of it. Got it! Hand over hand, I pull the length of rope up onto the bed. When I reach the noose at the end, I hug it to my chest. I don't know why it feels so comforting to hold it. I guess because it feels like the end of all my problems. I wonder how long it would take anyone to notice I wasn't coming into school anymore. I wonder what it'd feel like to sleep forever. I wonder... The alarm goes off again. I let the angry alarm sound continue for a moment before finally sitting up and turning it off. Fine, maybe I'll feel more awake after I shower. I'm still sitting here. I haven't gotten up. The idea of showering just feels like too much work right now. Maybe I'll just skip that and get dressed. Putting off showering is another one of those things. I also wanted to comment on the whole noose thing. Yeah, I'm playing on the notion that she was contemplating suicide right from the beginning, like right from before the beginning, that this is something that is an ongoing thing. But more than that, there's this feeling... There's this sort of love-hate relationship with the whole nature of suicide in Sayori's mind. Like she doesn't really want to kill herself, but that whole notion, that idea, plays on her. That notion of, oh, it would just be so much easier, and it's just to the point that there's a sense of comfort from knowing that she has that, quote unquote option. For the record, I should say, I'm not in any way trying to encourage or condone suicide here. Like I'm just saying it is. I'm just saying that the struggle with suicidal ideation is complex. Oh, geez, I was not prepared to do this commentary, was I? How do I put this into words? Maybe I should edit this out. No. I'm going to leave it in here. Okay. It's I mean, there is a general sense of loss of control of her life, which is causing her to feel all these things that make her want to end her life in the first place, and being able to, this idea of killing herself is some way of getting back some control, even if it's a very destructive means of getting control. But it's like the one thing she has control over. Yeah, and then there was where was it? There was that word worthless. Shoot, I've lost it now. Yeah, she uses the word worthless a few times in the original game. She's constantly devaluing herself, and her, devaluing the effect she has on the people around her, and also devaluing her sense of self, such that she can reason that there wouldn't be anything of worth lost if she ended her life. Oh, hell. I'm just going to move on here. Maybe I'll just skip that and get dressed. It's not like I have to smell nice for anyone anyway. Just as I'm thinking that, I glance out the window and see Tormuse walking by my house on her way to school. I remember the days when we used to walk to school together. It feels like so long ago now. She never said anything about it. She just kind of stopped showing up at my house one day. I guess I can't blame her. I was never ready to go when she got here. Besides, she probably has more important things to do, even if it's mostly just video games and anime. Almost ready. Just one last thing to do. It's time for me to put on a smile. This is, of course, the same bathroom background that I used for Storm, like for Yuri's bathroom. Only I just options. I just swapped the palette a bit. I shifted it more in the blue direction. I think it mostly looks okay. I don't know. The blurry background behind Sayori seems to be at odds with how crisp and clear her image is. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like it's got that sort of blurry effect to distinguish it from the foreground. I don't know. I guess it's always felt a little. I think it's overall a good effect. It's just overall feeling. I don't know. I'm being too critical of it. There's this feeling of, I don't know, something looks a little off. I can't quite put my finger on it. But I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Time for me to put on a smile. Hi, everybody. There. That's better. How are you doing, Sayori? You're looking a little fat today. Guess you shouldn't have eaten 3 bowls of cereal this morning. Look at you. You're so fat you can't even get your blazer closed. Why you just leave it open so everyone can see your fat tummy all day? You're so fat and ugly and stupid and worthless. No wonder nobody likes you. My toothbrush is already in my hand. I shouldn't do it. Why am I even thinking about it? But, of course, there's no one in my life who would care anyway. Let's just get this over with. I kneel over the toilet and push the toothbrush to the back of my throat. After a moment, I brought up my breakfast. Try not to think about how gross it is as I flush it down. Yeah, I'm writing Sayori as bulimic, obviously. I considered cutting this scene out of the demo and saving it for the full release, just because it might feel weirdly gratuitous and out of place when it's just thrown in there, like Sayori just throws up. But I wanted to. That is something I wanted to deal with in the full release. That she's. I mean, her feelings of self-loathing are complex. Some of it stems from her appearance, though. I mean, the original game, like she has her blazer open all the time, partly to highlight how disheveled and disorganized she is. But I sort of play on that to, like, it doesn't fit her anymore. It's like she eats a lot. Like it's one of the possible manifestations of depression. It changes the relationship with food. Sometimes some people don't eat at all. Some people overeat as a sort of a comfort thing. And I'm sort of playing into, like, Sayori overeats as a way to comfort herself, except that feeds into this notion that she's quote ugly because she's overweight or whatever, which she isn't really. But the fact that her blazer doesn't fit anymore sort of feeds into that, and so and that turns into a cycle which leads her to her deliberately throwing up her food just to try to keep that weight off, which is, again, a self-destructive coping mechanism. There are a lot of health risks associated with bulimia. Just to be clear, yeah, bulimia is an eating disorder which is it's the habit of overeating and then getting rid of the food afterwards, whether that's through throwing up or what's the term? I'm drawing a blank. Getting rid of it out the other end. The word for it is going to come back to me later. I'm just gonna blurt it out randomly and later on the mod. Anyway, it's a self-destructive coping mechanism. There are health risks associated with it. Like, not the least of you're not getting enough nutrients, and you're not getting in, the electrolytes to balance balance blood solute levels. It's and the other the kind of bulimia which just goes at the other end. It's also not helpful because by the time it's passed through your intestines, you've already absorbed all the nutrients from the food, so it isn't really helpful as a weight loss technique. Laxative, that's the term I was looking for. I don't know why that word just escaped me. I don't know, my vocabulary is failing me. I blame the pandemic. I've been cooped up for 2 years. I think I'm losing brain cells. I'm losing knowledge. Oh well. Anyway, let's move on. I'm so disgusting, but at least I'm not as fat anymore. I wipe the vomit off my chin while brushing my teeth. Anyway, it's time to get on with my day. Another day comes and goes at school. I smile at everyone I meet as usual, but I don't really feel close to anyone. I don't have any friends. No one cares about me. I just feel like I'm existing here, not really living. By the end of school day, I'm wondering all over again why I came here at all today. And at the same time, I also don't feel like going back home. I just continue sitting at my classroom seat for I don't even know how long. Coming to school feels pointless. Going home feels pointless. Everything feels pointless. Maybe I'll go wander the halls for a while just so I can move around. Yeah, that feeling of just existing, not really living, is sort of autobiographical as well. I'm not saying the whole suicidal ideation thing is autobiographical. I can relate to that feeling in some ways. That doesn't not because I'm thinking of killing myself or anything. I still think of life as an adventure, and it's still worth living, and it's just not a good idea to make permanent decisions based on an emotion felt in a moment, even if that emotion feels like it's going to last forever, which is one of the things that makes depression so pervasive. It's a very oppressive feeling that feels like it will last forever. It really feels like it's never going to end. That's what pushes people to go through with ending their lives if they're in that state. It is a form of cognitive distortion, though. There is a feedback loop in the brain in the brains of depressed people. That negative thoughts and feelings feed themselves, and they amplify themselves the more they go round and round in your head. The key to dealing with it, for the most part, is finding ways to break that cycle, break that feedback loop. I've talked about this a lot in previous videos, but I think it bears repeating. I might be getting new viewers watching this. Who knows? I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth having that conversation. But finding ways to break that cycle. Sometimes it's just a matter of distracting yourself, finding something to do, even if you don't really feel like doing it. Because when you're in that depressed state where it feels like motivation to do things is just not there, sometimes you just have to push yourself to go do it anyway, just to distract yourself. And I was kind of a loner in high school, so this bit is relatable. Just like I can't relate to how I was back then anymore, because since then I've made an effort to reach out to people and make friends and make social connections and make an identity for myself. And that whole aspect of just sitting, keeping to myself, that just seems like a foreign thing to me now. I mean, back then I would not have considered doing anything like this recording that I'm doing here, turning this experience of playing a visual novel into a social experience where I can share it with others. I think that can turn it into a positive thing, and another way of connecting with people, reaching people, maybe having a positive effect on people. I think that'd be cool. Anyway, I should move on. Maybe I'll go wander the halls for a while just so I can move around. The school is so strangely quiet. Oh yeah, I think I want to take a moment to appreciate the music too. This song is great. I mean, I listened to like dozens of songs when I was picking up the music for this mod, but this song, like, it has this sad, melancholic quality to it, while also, how do I explain it? How do I put it into words? It conveys it conveys a lot of the impression of depression. That feeling of, okay, it's just another day. It's just another day of going through this. It's another day of dealing with this. And getting stuck in that depressive spiral. And also it's on the piano, which is a bonus, which is like Monika's instrument. I mean, it's okay. Maybe that's not a perfect fit for Sayori, but Monika's going to show up soon. This is a Sayori Monika kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. The school is so strangely quiet. Everyone has long gone home already. The only sounds are muffled voices coming from clubrooms as I pass by them. Nice to know that other people are having fun, making friends, I guess. But then I hear something strange. Is someone crying? Yeah. I definitely hear a girl's voice crying, loud and clear. I don't know if I'm feeling curious or just bored, but now I'm trying to find the source of the sound. I come around a corner and see a girl I don't recognize. She's sitting on the stairs with her face in her hands. Hello? Are you okay? Leave me alone, Sayori. She knows my name? My mind is racing. Have we met before? I can't remember. I know she just said to leave her alone, but I can't help getting closer. I'm just too curious. Now that I get a better look at her, she does look kind of familiar. She isn't in any of my classes, but I think she's someone important. Yeah, here's another song I'm rather pleased with. It conveys that sense of... It still has a melancholy sound to it, but there's a sort of a mysterious air to it, like who's this mystery girl who's crying kind of thing. Yeah, really fond of the music choices in this. I do say so myself. Anyway, moving on. I think she made an announcement at some school assembly or something. What was her name again? I think it started with an M, some non-Japanese name. Mary, Maggie, Madeline. I never really talked to anyone, so I don't know why someone as important as her would remember a worthless nobody like me. So it's a bit embarrassing that I can't remember her name. Megan? Melanie? Whoever she is, it feels like it's really important to talk to her so I can solve this mystery. Hey, it's okay. Don't be sad. Oh, great. Don't be sad. Why didn't I think of that? Sorry, I guess I'm being dumb. Why do I have to be so stupid? This is important. I'm just embarrassed myself further. What was her name? Millie? Mindy? I should probably go before I make things any worse. But now it feels like it would be awkward for me to leave. Molly? Monique? Monika! Ow, what? What are you shouting for? Sorry, I got a little excited. What do you want, Sayori? I just wanted... I sit down next to her. To try to cheer you up. She wipes her tears away. Why? What's the point? I don't know. I just don't want you to be sad. I guess that makes sense. You're probably designed to make people happy. Designed? If you say so. Well, maybe if you tell me what's making you sad, I can help you feel better. Thanks, but you can't. Everything's a mess. Incidentally, I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that oh shoot, where was it? Oh yeah, the whole "don't be sad." Why do you think of that? It's generally not helpful to tell people, by the way, don't feel what you're already feeling. You can't really will the feelings away by just saying, yeah, don't be sad, or don't be angry, or don't cry, or it's generally more constructive to acknowledge that the feeling is there than to just say, don't feel it. You know, because people generally can't help how they feel. They can't try. You can control how you act and how you feel, but it's not helpful to just tell someone, don't be sad. Anyway, moving on. Thanks, but you can't. Everything's a mess. What do you mean? Nothing matters. School doesn't matter. This whole world doesn't matter. Even this conversation doesn't matter. I feel my heart aching for her. I know what that feels like. Now it feels more important than ever to reach out to her. I'm struggling to remember anything I can about her. When did we meet? Oh, now I remember. You're the leader of the arguing club. The... You mean the debate club? Yeah, that. Arguing club is probably more accurate. That's all we ever did in there. But that means you're important, right? You're beautiful and talented and a natural leader. What's there to be sad about? No, Sayori, I quit the debate club today. What? Why? Because it's fake. It's all fake. Everyone in it is fake. It's just depressing going in there every day, knowing that none of it is real, that all of it is pointless. So I just quit because I couldn't handle it anymore. But now I kind of regret it, because even if it wasn't real, at least it was something to fill the void in my life. Now, everything is empty. Just me, talking to myself for eternity. And I have to wonder, what's the point of continuing? My eyes widen and suddenly I can hardly breathe. I recognize the look in her eyes because I see it in myself every day. You... I have to bite my tongue to stop myself from asking the first question that comes to mind. I ask something else instead. What are you going to do? It doesn't matter. She starts crying again. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It feels so unreal to be facing someone who feels the same way I do. Sorry, there's something else I was going to comment on there. Oh yeah, just me. I that was a deliberate choice to have Monika say that. But yeah, I sort of played on the notion that, in case it isn't obvious, this is Monika post-epiphany realizing that she's trapped in a world of fiction, and that nothing in her existence has any meaning. She's having this existential crisis here. Anyway, moving on. It feels so unreal to be facing someone who feels the same way I do. My heart is pounding so hard just thinking about it. It's making me dizzy. As I'm sitting here watching her cry, it's like there's a fight breaking out in my head. I shouldn't ask her. I shouldn't. Just thinking about it is making my stomach tie itself in knots. But I think I have to ask her. You're thinking of killing yourself, aren't you? She just stares at me long and hard. The inside of my head is spinning so much this doesn't even feel real. But I did it. I said it. So I can't stop now. It's true, isn't it? What the hell? You know what? Yeah, it's true. I've thought about it a lot lately. Like, what's the point of living when I've got nothing to live for? It'd be really easy, too. All I have to do is delete a file and I'm gone. It'd be quick and painless, and there would be no one to miss me, so no big loss. You know what's funny? It actually feels good to say it out loud. I guess I should thank you for showing up today, even if it's as pointless as everything else. And, eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that this is me playing on Suicide Protocol. You ask the person if they're thinking of killing themselves. Which, if anyone who's played my previous mod, Sayori Says No to Suicide, there are certain questions you ask of someone that you suspect might be suicidal, and the first and most important question is, are you thinking of killing yourself? Which, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's a difficult question to ask, but it is an important question to ask. It's because it could be the first step in maybe saving someone's life, and it's easy to downplay the notion of asking that question, because no one's gonna talk about that. If they're someone's depressed, they're not gonna feel like talking about that. But actually, you'd be surprised. Some people want to talk about it. And I sort of played into that here, like Monika being like, you know what, it actually feels good to talk about it, because she's been in this state of this internalized, depressed, existential dread of feeling going around in her head, and with no one to share it with, but it's something that she didn't dare actually say aloud. So, on some level, talking about it is even just acknowledging it, saying it out loud was something helpful to her. Anyway, moving on. How long have you been feeling like that? Literally as long as I can remember. And I'm not misusing the word literally. I don't even know why I haven't done it already. Survival instinct, I guess? Or maybe I'm just scared? I wondered about that myself. Yeah, that makes sense. Does it? What would I even be scared of? The unknown, I guess? Maybe it's because you know that once you do it, you can't undo it. And maybe there are still things in life that make you happy. And you're not ready to give them up forever. Yeah, this is Sayori saying these lines here. This is from in the narrative. I mean, there's a lot of meta narrative going on here, but within the story, Sayori is saying this because those are her reasons for not having killed herself yet, even though she's thought about it a lot. Because she does still feel happy about some things, and she doesn't want to give them up forever. But anyway, moving on. Could be, but I feel like I ran out of those things a while ago, and I'm still going because of, I don't know, principle. Do not go gentle into that good night, and so on. Huh? Nothing. It's just a poem. You write poems? No, I wish I could write something that good. That was from a famous poem about death by Dylan Thomas. That's, yeah, exactly as it says. Do not go gentle like a night. Look it up. Okay. I guess I'm just getting philosophical lately. She stares off into the distance. My file is right there, practically at my fingertips. And there's nothing to stop me. Nothing at all. Hardly anything for me to rage against. Rage? That's the next line in the poem. Rage against the dying of the light. Feels very different from reality, or what passes for reality in this place. Because it would only take a second. I could even do it right now, while we're talking. My life gone in an instant. And it wouldn't matter. No one would care. No one would even know. Yeah. Oh, that's some heavy feeling there. That having a plan and a means, and just sitting there staring at it, and contemplating going through with it. Okay, moving on. I would care. Makes my heart ache to hear her talking like this. I don't want you to die. She stares at me long and hard again. Great. Someone who isn't real doesn't want me to die. How comforting. For some reason, I feel stung by that comment. Hey, I'm real. You're just following your programming, Sayori. You're here to be ditzy and happy-go-lucky, that's all. I know I'm not very smart, but at least I'm honest. I know what you're feeling, and I know I wouldn't want anyone to feel that way. Oh, please, you don't have the slightest clue what I'm feeling. Yes, I do, because I think of killing myself too. I can't believe I told her that. It almost feels like someone else is talking instead of me. Don't be stupid. You expect me to believe that? It's true. Just because the debate people are a bunch of liars doesn't mean that I am too. Liars? What? You said they're fake, right? Well, I'm being real with you. I can't stop now. I have to let it all out. I keep a noose in my room. I don't know why I made it. Like, I don't think I'd ever really do it, but I think about using it a lot. I can just hang myself from this light in the ceiling in my room. It'd be pretty easy, actually. And then I wouldn't have to feel so worthless anymore. Monika's right, it does feel good to talk about it. But, like I said, sometimes there are still things I can feel happy about. I know how bad it feels, believe me, I do. But still worth staying alive. This screenshot here is one I considered using for the promotional image. It's kind of a toss-up. Do I want to go with the angsty image like this, or do I want to go with the... Well, I'll bring up the other image later. The more... The cutesier image. I ended up going with the cutesy one. But yeah, this is sort of reinforcing what I said at the beginning about Sayori. As much as she contemplates it, she's still trying to find reasons to keep going. And this bit about debate people being liars and so on is sort of playing on this notion that Sayori doesn't really get what Monika's saying, what she's talking about, but she's sort of trying to play along anyway. So, yeah, moving on. Whoa, it really is true, isn't it? The happy-go-lucky girl is secretly depressed? I guess I should give the writer more credit. Huh? Writer? Never mind. Anyway, it still doesn't matter. It's not like it changes anything. There's a long pause. Was it a mistake to tell her my secret? I don't know. It just felt right. I wanted to let her know she's not alone. Or maybe it's just because I don't want to feel alone? The only thing I know for sure is that seeing her so sad makes my heart hurt more than anything I've ever felt. I don't even know why this is so important to me, but I can only think of one other way to make things better. I give her a hug. Aww. Yeah. Wonder if I should have broadcasted this live rather than doing it as a recording. Oh well. I don't feel like starting over again. Yeah, but here's another transition. Obviously, I wanted the music to change from that melancholy, mysterious to something that is more along the lines of conveying a feeling of starting to feel better, and this felt like a good place to make that transition for the hug. Anyway, give her a hug. What are you doing? This is called a hug. You're supposed to put your arms around me too. I feel her weakly lift her arms. That's a good start. Now wrap them all the way around me. I feel her start to hug me. That's good. Now squeeze me like this. I hug her tighter, and I feel her hug me tighter in return. Good job. Now, if you're ready for advanced lessons, you can try rubbing my back like this. Sayori, why are you doing this? Because hugs feel good, and I want you to feel good. Okay, fine. But it still doesn't change anything. I know you're feeling sad. I get it. I feel sad a lot too. I know it feels like the sadness is going to last forever, but that's not true. That's your brain lying to you. I know because my brain is pretty mean to me sometimes too. But never forget that there are still things to be happy about. Sometimes you have to really look for them, and other times you might have to force yourself to think happy thoughts. But you have to believe it's possible to be happy again. I feel Monika clutching the back of my blazer. I want to believe that. I really do. Monika's voice sounds choked up. But I know it's not true. Wrong. That's your brain lying to you again. I think you just need a new project or something. That's what helps me when I'm feeling down. Ooh, maybe we can work on it together. I guess. I don't know. It could be fun. I'm sure we can come up with something together. I really want to fill your void. Excuse me? You said you want something to fill your void so you don't have to feel empty. Right. It's just that, she gives a sniffly laugh. The way you said it sounded like an innuendo. Huh? What's that? It's, geez, do I really have to explain it? I'm sorry for being so dumb. I guess I can look it up later. How do you spell it? No, it's fine. An innuendo is when you say something that sounds like it means something else. And, in this case, I feel her hands fidgeting behind me. I want to fill your void sounds like a sexual thing. Oh, okay. I get it now. Well, right now I just want a hug. This line cracks me up. But yeah, I wanted to comment on that a bit. Yeah, this here is sort of, Sayori's character in a nutshell. Like, even when she's feeling bad, she's always trying to uplift other people. Like, this is stuff that Sayori struggles with too. If someone offered Sayori this advice that she's offering, she would have trouble following it. But she's still going to offer it anyway. Like, she knows deep down, like, she knows her, as she puts it, her brain is being mean to her brain is lying to her. It doesn't stop her from succumbing to those feelings, but she's aware of it. Like, she knows intellectually that, yeah, this feeling I have isn't real. It doesn't reflect reality. It's just a feeling, This is stuff that's played on in the original game, like in the original Act 1, Sayori makes a comment about my brain as being really mean to me, and she, or talking about how the world is punishing her, or like she has her own ways of parsing through her experience. And this is her just trying to reflect that back at Monika here, and is saying that, yeah, you have to, sometimes you just have to search for those ways to feel happy again, or force yourself to think happy thoughts. That whole happy thoughts thing is like from the Bottles poem, and from the other thing, that secret image file from the original game. What am I trying to say here? It basically, what I'm saying is it feeds into Sayori. She's trying to break that feedback loop that I mentioned earlier, like, she has her own coping mechanisms for dealing with her depression, even though like some of her coping mechanisms are not the most constructive. Some of them are kind of destructive, like the throwing up or the keeping a noose around. But she does have some constructive coping mechanisms that help her get through her day. This is her trying to pass them on to Monika here. And this is how my story begins for Turquoise, with Monika and Sayori bonding over their shared experience with depression and suicidal ideation, and trying to help each other through it. There's going to be a lot more of that in the full mod. Anyway, moving right along. Well, right now, I just want a hug. Let's fill the other kind of void, the one that isn't an innuendo. Innuendo. Yeah, that. Anyway, let's figure this out. I pat her on the back. Patting on the back is a signal for the end of the hug. We slowly let each other go. Are you blushing? Probably. Oh my gosh, I made Monika blush. That is so cute. Yeah, this is the image I ended up using as the promotional art. It's a cute image. Monika kind of getting all flustered after Sayori hugged her, and after the embarrassing sexual comments, or sex innuendo comment. She's anyway, moving right along. Oh, stop! You're the one being cute. Anyway, you were about to say something, right? Oh yeah, I was just thinking, maybe we can help each other feel better. And if the debate club is all fake, then maybe it's time to make something real. Like, what if we started a writing club? A writing club? Well, yeah, didn't you say you're a writer? Or, something like that? You said something about a writer? And, famous poems? And, big words like innuendo and stuff like that? You'd probably be really good at it. I just don't see the point, Sayori. Well, maybe that's extra reason to do it. When I'm feeling saddest, sometimes it helps me get me out of it if I try something new. Yeah, this is another thing that really plays into stuff from the original game. Because MC makes a comment in the original that Sayori has a habit of picking up new hobbies and then dropping them a week later. And I'm playing into the notion that this is Sayori's way of trying to deal with her depression, of trying to find things to distract herself. She has trouble sticking with the new things, again because of the depression. Like it's because it weighs on her and saps her motivation to continue. But yeah, this is kind of her one of her more constructive coping mechanisms, and that's something that it could be fun. We could come up with something together. She's taking that coping mechanism and trying to extend it to Monika as well, and turning into a thing that they can do together, which is kind of cool. Anyway, moving right along. It makes me happier, even if it's just for a short time. Do you even have any experience with writing? Hold on a sec. I grab my notebook out of my bag and rip a page out of it. I write a couple sentences on it and hand it to Monika. There! Now I have experience with writing. Rain clouds in my head make me want to go away, but the sun coming up helps me face another day. Huh. A little simple, but it's a nice little poem. I'm guessing the rain clouds are a metaphor for your depression? Metaphor? What's that? It basically means it's a symbol that represents something else. In this case, rain clouds represent your depression. Ah, okay, so it's like the innuendo again. Not exactly. A metaphor is a literary device for comparing two things by saying that one is like the other, only you don't use the word like. You simply say that one is the other. In this case, you're saying your depression is a bunch of rain clouds. Whoa, neat. See? I told you you're good at this. Yeah, somebody criticized my writing, saying that, hey, Sayori should know what metaphors are, which, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, it is something you learn about in high school, yes, but, need more water. But, even if there is an expectation that she should know that, I think it's perfectly in keeping with Sayori's personality, to pretend not to get it in order to get Monika to talk to her more and make Monika feel better for knowing something and so on. And it also fits in with Sayori generally kind of acting dumber than she actually is, to help other people around her. There are a number of reasons for it. Partly in order to help people around her feel better, if they're amused by her antics or whatever, and also to as an I don't know if you can call it a self-destructive coping mechanism, but it's not the most constructive coping mechanism either. But it is a coping mechanism of trying to keep people's keeping expectations low where you're concerned. Put up this facade of being, I'm really dumb, I don't know what I'm doing, so that people don't expect anything of you, and then you can surprise them more when you do come up with something good. It's not the healthiest coping mechanism, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things in life, you have to have some measure of ambition to get anywhere, you have to have some measure of confidence in your abilities, to believe you can do things, and constantly devaluing yourself and saying, "Oh, I'm dumb, I can't do this. So I'm so dumb," isn't the best way to navigate that sort of thing. But it in its own way, it keeps the pressure off her, because it keeps people's expectations off of her. So yeah. I need to get some more water. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling a bit here. Partly it's because I'm sort of trying to fill in time. I mean, I have a lot to talk about on this sort of thing, but the demo is kind of short. I mean, I'm almost at the end of it here. But anyway, moving on. So you're going to start up the club, right? Me? It was your idea. You should start up the club. But I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how to form a club, but you've done all that before. It's pretty simple. You have to have at least 4 members, and then it's just a matter of filling out the paperwork. Ah, members. Right. So I guess we should, ask all of our friends to join? I don't think that's necessary. Yuri and Natsuki can be our other 2 members. Oh, good. I'm glad you have friends to invite. I kind of don't have any. You're not really my friends. You're just the only 2 other named characters in this game. Characters? Game? Oh, wait, I get it. Is the game a metaphor? Sure, Sayori, let's go with that. You're so good at metaphors. It's like you do them automatically. You need to be the leader of the club. You'll be so much better at it than me. Okay, fine. But if I'm going to be the president, then you need to be my vice president. Me? Not Yuri or Natsuki? Of course you, why not? Because, I'm kind of dumb. I wouldn't really know what I'm doing. I need someone who's good with people. And you just showed that you can cheer me up when I'm at my lowest. I cheered you up? Well, yeah. This might still be a total waste of time, but what the hell, I'll give it a try. I did it. I cheered her up. She's not going to kill herself. I don't think I've ever smiled so hard in my whole life. Yay, I'm so happy! I wrap my arms around her, squeezing her tightly. Okay, Sayori, okay. She pats me on the back vigorously. I still need to breathe here. Sorry. Let her go, and the 2 of us stand up. In addition to that being a cute image, I like the fact that she pats me in the back vigorously. It's that call back to Sayori's comment about a pat on the back is the signal for the end of the hug. I just like that little detail. I mean, this is Sayori turning the hug into this. I'm going to give you a hug lesson. This is how a hug works, and these are the ins and outs of hugs. And Monika picking up on that and applying what she learned there. I just think that's kind of cute. Yeah. So somebody said that like one of my playtesters said that the transition from talking about being suicidal to talking about like innuendos and being happy about this new project felt a bit abrupt, which, yeah, I can see that a bit. The switch from Monika being all despondent to being happy again. I definitely want to convey that over the course of this conversation, Sayori did cheer Monika up. Like, I like to think it was gradual enough. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, anyway, moving on. I let her go and the two of us stand up. So, I'll make the arrangements, and I guess we can just meet back here tomorrow after school. Works for me. Great. I'll see you then. Wait! Huh? There's one more thing I have to do before you go. I point to her bag. Can I borrow that? Okay. She hands her bag to me, looking confused. I open it up and rummage through it. Doesn't take me long to find what I'm looking for. I take it out and hug it to my chest. Sayori, what? Do you need to trim your nails or something? You said that if you delete your file, you'll die. I'm keeping this so you don't get tempted. I put the nail file in my own bag. By the way, what does delete mean? Like that sort of, I don't know, something about that look in response to Sayori's antics just gets to me. Oh, Sayori, you are so silly, but so sweet. I think I'm going to enjoy working with you. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye, Monika. Yeah, that's again continuing to play on the notion that Sayori has no idea what Monika's talking about, and things she's talking about like a nail file rather than her character file. I mean, it was really, I don't know what. Outside of that, the context of game files and character files, what else could she be referring to when she says a file? Someone said that it was going a little too far to have Sayori not know what the word delete means, but you know, I'm still kind of leaning into the notion of, well, you know, maybe Sayori's smarter than she lets on, and maybe she's just doing whatever she can to diffuse the situation, you know? She just, even if it means acting dumb in front of her to help put her at ease and make Monika just generally feel happier and more relaxed and like laughing at Sayori's antics or whatever. Like, you know, like people are saying, oh, this is such a flanderized version of Sayori. This whole idea of her being so dumb she doesn't know what metaphors are and what delete means or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but like, you weigh that against, okay, what are Sayori's goals here? Like, she's trying to make Monika feel better, and she succeeded. So who's the dumb one? You know. Anyway, moving on. All the way home, I can't get over how happy I feel. I don't know how much of it's because of the excitement of a new project or just the memory of Monika's beautiful, smiling face. I just know this is going to be so much fun. When I get back to my room, the noose is still in my bed. It's a good thing my parents are away. If they found it, it would be hard to explain. I pick it up and throw it under my bed as hard as I can. I definitely don't want to get tempted now. Thank you for playing the demo for Turquoise. More coming soon. I hope. Earlier version of the demo actually had the words "I hope" appear there, but I was like, no, don't. I mean, it's kind of a joke when I said "I hope," but I'm like, no. Let's not give the impression that it's not coming. I am working on it. I've got. This was day 1. I have day 2 and day 3 completely written. Day 4 and day 5 are partly written. I'm still. I know how I want it to end, but I'm still figuring out in between details. MC will show up in the middle of that. I'm going to have to do some creative coding to make it so that that applies whether you chose a male or female MC. Yeah, that'll be an interesting challenge. I mean, selecting pronouns is easy enough, but making it so that it loads the graphic for one or the other depending on which gender you chose. Yeah, I don't know. Technical details unimportant. It's just be an interesting coding challenge. But yeah, that's the demo so far. That's what I've got so far. I'm pretty pleased with how this demo acts as a sort of self-contained story. You know, it has its own little, conflict set up of Sayori trying to talk Monika out of killing herself, and ends with this happy resolution where Sayori's made a new friend, and we're starting on this new adventure with this new project, the the writing club, which, yeah, I know it should be a literature club. It's that's going to get refined in a later in the mod. They change it to a literature club. That's coming up. It's a little awkward leaving in the demo, leaving it with, oh, it's a writing club, but I'll deal with that. Yeah. And speaking of which, I've seen a lot of comments about the mod, about things that are addressed and expressed in the mod, which kind of make me go, oh, I really have to bite my tongue. Like, I want to comment on it, but I'm like, nope. Because it's going to be spoilers if I say it. But there are a lot of themes and events and things that I intend to deal with in the full story and the full mod. Yeah, you're just going to have to wait and see. I'm trying to hold back on talking about them until then. Let's also take a moment to appreciate this music. This is the song that I chose for the title screen. Like all the songs that I chose in this were like free to use, like royalty-free music. You can get some surprisingly good quality stuff. Free to use stuff. It's out there. I really like this one because it conveys the feeling of this whirlwind teenage romance, which with all the angst that comes with that, well, angst and sense of, what's the word? I don't know. I don't know. There's just this feeling of it's just this rush of feeling that comes from that sort of experience. I don't know how to explain it. But I don't know. I think it suits this title screen setup well, along with art by Minsway. This took some doing and some adjustment. Like early, I was going to say drafts, or early sketches of this. They were in different positions. It was like there's an earlier version of it where they were like forehead to forehead, but it looked like Sarah was looking at Monika's nose, and it's like, that wasn't quite the look I was going for. Like, I want them looking into each other's eyes, I want it to be a loving sort of look, with their arms in a position like they could be holding hands. And I think Vinsui did a good job. You know, I think it came out looking pretty good. It got this little sparkly effect going on. It gives it a sort of an ethereal look, like that sort of to help reflect that feeling of the whole world has fallen away and they just see each other. Aww. The logo was pretty nice too. This is the work of Blue Quacker. And it's simple, but it works. You know, it's got like a little subtle little pen here. Because of the literature club, and there's some little binary in the shadow there to reflect Monika's knowledge of the video game. And of course the color itself, turquoise, is it's a blue-green color. It's to reflect Monika's and Sayori's eye colors. That's where the name came from. Plus I just thought it was a cool name, and it's a name that nobody else is going to pick. Turquoise. This color isn't, full disclosure, this color isn't actually turquoise. Turquoise is a little more in the green direction. So I cheated a bit. I mean, although actual turquoise stones, because turquoise is the name of a precious gemstone, it is a blue-green color. But it comes in a variety of shades of blue-green, and there are some turquoise stones that are this color, so go with that. They're usually more green, but oh well, whatever. This is my creative liberty here. This color scheme went through a few iterations. This is what I ended up deciding on. I thought it overall served the main menu screen better, I guess. In the end, anyway. But yeah. So yeah, I actually wrote this a year ago. Over a year ago. I wrote this before DDLC Plus came out last year, actually. Which of course, the side stories kind of render my new version of Sayori and Monika meeting obsolete, I guess. But it's fine. It's called an alternate universe or something. It's fan fiction. It can be whatever it wants to be. It's an alternate version of events. It's fine. It isn't actually obsolete. I'm joking, but it's yeah. But yeah, like I've been sitting on this for a while. Like I actually after the events of last year, particularly in April when the whole stuff about Carl came out, I was just feeling super burnt out, and I eventually got to a point where I did not feel like continuing to work on the mod anymore. I was just generally sort of feeling burnt out about making or playing mods. But yeah, I don't know. In recent weeks, I guess I just got the itch to pick up some kind of creative project again. And I decided, hey, you know what, let's pick up Turquoise and just dust it off. Let's make a demo out of it. Maybe I can spur myself on to to actually get this thing finished. And it's gotten some pretty positive reactions so far, which is very encouraging. And and people are making comments that make me go, haha, I'm going to address that in the full mod. And I'm just like, oh darn, I really need to finish the full mod now. I mean, seeing the positive reactions so far does make me kind of excited about the prospect of actually finishing this thing and being able to release it. It's a long ways away from being finished. Like I said, there's some in-between details which I haven't quite figured out and I haven't written yet. And I need to fill them in, because I don't want anything to be bland, empty filler, as much as possible. I want the story to be compelling and interesting, and every scene, as much as there does need to be some connective tissue in between scenes connecting the more dramatic scenes. I don't want any mundane moments. I don't want anything to feel bland, like you're just padding time until the next interesting thing happens. Even if it isn't big and dramatic, it should at least convey some aspect of people's characters or people's interactions with each other or relationships to each other, and just generate some interest like that too. And I don't know, I'm rambling now. It's just something I'm talking about it in vague terms because I don't want to. On principle, I want to avoid spoilers. I want to avoid anything that can, might take away from that experience when it finally comes out. But yeah, it's like I said, work in progress. One other thing I want to mention is I did decide to take this opportunity coming up with this demo to start up a Patreon, which a couple of people suggested to me, said, hey, do you have some way to donate to you? I'd love to support you. And I was like, I've never thought of that. I mean, I'm just making these for fun. I've been at this hobby of making DDLC mods since 2018. So it's been 4 years now. I've just been doing it for fun. I wasn't expecting to make any money off it, but what the hell? I started up a Patreon. I'll put a link in the description of this video. I don't expect to make much money off it, but if anyone does decide to donate, then that can help spur me on to get this thing finished faster, because that reinforces that notion of, holy crap, there's demand for this. People want to see my work. Okay, I better get some work done. So yeah, no pressure or anything. Obviously, nobody's obligated to donate to me, but it might help me out. And if I make a bit of money at this, I can put that money into some nicer CGs, maybe, because there are a couple of points in Turquoise that I would like to have CGs, like full screen artwork. It would be nice so I can, toss some money into that. And come up with something really nice and polished looking. That could be cool. Yeah. Other than that, not much else to say, I don't think. I mean, excuse me. I also have, Storm 2, the sequel to my Yuri point of view mod, is also sort of still in the works, theoretically. I've written a good chunk of that too. Heck, maybe I should put a demo for that out too. I've got enough material for one. I don't know. So that's something I've considered doing, but I should probably focus on one project at a time. should probably try to finish Turquoise before I start putting work into Storm, or Storm 2. But that's something that's on the horizon. I mean, as much as I say I'm feeling burnt out about making DDLC mods, and I probably should move on to other things. I do get some enjoyment of it, and I do have some stories I want to tell, and in addition to having stories to tell, like, I like to create things that reach people and maybe help people. Hence all the talk about dealing with suicidal ideation and depression and so on. It's a rewarding feeling when I hear back, because over the years since that's like, for instance, Sayori Says No to Suicide, since that came out in, when did that come out? Was that 2019? That's 3 years ago. I periodically get people saying to me, "Hey, just wanted to thank you for your mod." I've had a few people say they've actually put it to use, and they remembered Sayori's lessons about how to approach someone who's suicidal, and it helped them out of a bad situation. And I'm like, that's really cool. That's a rewarding feeling, and very conscious of the fact I'm at 40 years old. I'm rather old to be in this fandom, which is largely dominated by teenagers, but being able to reach out to and influence those young people in a positive way, I think is a rewarding pastime, even just as a hobby. And it at least makes me feel like I'm doing something good with my life. So yeah, on that note, I should probably wrap this up. This has been the Turquoise demo with developer commentary. Maybe I'll stream some more. I haven't done any streaming in quite a while. Maybe good to stream some other mods. I probably should have streamed this one. This could have been neat to do live. Oh well. When I get the full thing done, I'll stream that one live. That'll be fun. But I've given a lot of thought to there were a few mods that at one time I had been looking forward to, but never got around to playing because, again, I was feeling burnt out. Like, I wouldn't mind picking up Switcheroo. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Blue Skies is another one that I've heard a lot good about, and that I had been at one time had been looking forward to, although that one being so long is kind of daunting. There's also Club Meetings. That's another one which I've heard a lot of good things about. I hear it's really well written. But again, it's kind of long and is kind of daunting. It's like that saying goes, a year from now you may find yourself wishing you started a year ago. So maybe if I just get started on it now, I'll get through it eventually. I don't know, see how I feel. Hey, I mean, if there's demand for it, hey, let me know in the comments. Why not? At least Switcheroo, though, I think I'd like to give that one a whirl. Not the least because I helped out doing proofreading of an early draft of it, and somebody told me that my name showed up in the credits as proofreader, and I was like, I only did an early draft. I didn't do the final. I didn't proofread the final thing. I hope the end result doesn't have any typos in there. It's gonna make me look bad. You know, I should play it just so I can find out if this is something I want my name attached to. You know. So I don't know. Maybe I'll stream that. We'll see. I'll give it some thought. Until next time.